Well, I think we're going to see, if Mr. Trump actually uh, implements his distancing from Ukraine and the war there, we will see a reorganization of European affairs. Europeans have now come to realize, that is, the statesmen among them have, that they cannot enjoy peace, security, and prosperity without a constructive relationship, if a wary relationship, with Russia. I see signs of this in Poland, which Poland has emerged as a very strong military power in Europe. It has a history of extreme anti-Russian sentiment for good reasons. And I think many Poles, however, now realize that they need to have a decent relationship with Russia in their own interest. And I think there are Russians who see the same. They have wanted to, Mr. Putin has constantly reiterated a desire to talk, to negotiate with his neighbors and NATO and the United States. And up to now, there have been no such talks. There were talks with Ukraine, which in April, late March, early April 2022, actually produced a draft treaty, which the Ukrainians were then persuaded by Boris Johnson, acting on behalf of the West, to repudiate. I think the Ukrainians are now wishing that they had signed that treaty, having lost an enormous number of men on the battlefield, seen some 11 million Ukrainians flee the country. The country's population is now a fraction of what it was on the eve of the war. And many Ukrainians will not return to Ukraine, whatever the circumstances. Ukraine has lost over 20% of its territory, and it's not going to get it back. So this has been a very bad war for Ukrainians, and I think really it's almost criminal to have encouraged them to carry on as they have with such huge losses on their side. The Russians too have lost men and fighters and so forth, but to a much lesser degree because their military tactics have involved digging into positions and allowing the Ukrainians to attack them. And the defense always has the advantage over the attack, and the casualties on the Russian side are therefore far less than those on the Ukrainian side. But altogether, this war has cost well over 1 million lives, which is not an achievement. The sooner it ends, the earlier Europeans, I hope with the assistance of the United States, can sit down to work out an arrangement which neither threatens Russia nor the rest of Europe, in which both Russians and other Europeans can feel secure. That is what needs to come out of this.